Jean Valmores, and in this video, we are going to configure the Packet Tracer Lab activity, implementing VLANs and inter-VLAN routing configuration. So here we go, guys. Let's start. So now we are going to design the topology, but first let's read the objectives. So the objectives are, in part 1, build the network, configure IP addresses on the PCs, and configure basic device settings for the switches and the router. In part 2, create VLANs and assign switch ports. Part 3, configure an 802.1 queue trunk between the switches. Part 4, configure inter-VLAN routing on the router on a stick. And part 5, verify inter-VLAN routing is working. So we will first read the background scenario. Modern switches use virtual local area networks to improve network performance by separating large layer 2 broadcast domains into smaller ones. VLANs can also be used as a security measure by separating sensitive data traffic from the rest of the network. In general, VLANs make it easier to design a network to support the goals of an organization. Communication between VLANs requires a device operating at layer 3 of the OSI model. Adding an inter-VLAN router allows the organization to segregate and separate broadcast domains while simultaneously allowing them to communicate with each other. VLAN trunks are used to span VLANs across multiple devices. Trunks allow the traffic from multiple VLANs to travel over a single link, while keeping the VLAN identification and segmentation intact. A particular kind of inter-VLAN routing, called router on a stick, uses a trunk from the router to the switch to enable all VLANs to pass to the router. So now we will create VLANs on both switches. In the topology, assign VLANs to switch access ports, verify that VLANs are working as expected, create VLAN trunks between the two switches and between S1 and R1, and configure inter-VLAN routing on R1 to allow hosts in different VLANs to communicate, regardless of which subnet the host resides. So the required resources is Packet Tracer. So the instructions, part 1. So build the network and configure basic device settings. In part 1, you will set up the network topology and configure basic settings on the PC host and switches. So now we were going to create the topology. So first we will select a router. So we will use this one. So device, this is R1. Okay, R1. And we will also select switches. This is switch 1. Another switch. This is switch 2. Okay. I'll also select the PC. Okay. This is PC-A. Okay, another PC. And this is PC-B. Okay, so now we will going to connect these devices. So first from R1, we will choose a cable straight through from gigabit Ethernet 0/1 to fast Ethernet 0/5. Okay, so they're connected. Now from S1 to S2, fast Ethernet straight through. Okay, fast Ethernet 0/1 to, okay, fast Ethernet 0/1. Okay, now they're connected. Okay, then from switch 1 to PC-A straight through. So fast Ethernet 0/6 to fast Ethernet 0. Okay, and from switch 2, choose cables straight through fast Ethernet 0/18 to fast Ethernet 0. Okay, so now after we connect these devices, we are done with step 1, cabling the network. So now let's go to step 2, configure basic settings for the router. So console into the router and enable privilege exec mode, enter configuration mode, assign a device name to the router, disable DNS lookup to prevent the router from attempting to translate incorrectly entered commands as though they were host names, and assign class as the privilege exec encrypted password. Assign Cisco as the console password enable login, and also assign Cisco as the VTY password and enable login. Also, you'll encrypt the plain text passwords, create a banner that warns anyone accessing the device that unauthorized access is prohibited, and save the running configuration to the startup configuration file. And we will also set the clock on the router. So we will do this. Now we will go to R1 CLI. No, enter. So enable command, enter. We'll go to configure terminal, enter. And after that, we're going to rename or assign a name. So host name is R1. Okay, so after that, we're going to disable the DNS lookup. So we're going to use the no IP domain lookup. enter. Okay, so after that we will going to assign the privilege exec encrypted password. Enable, so secret class. Okay, class, and enter. Okay, after that we will going to assign Cisco's the console password. So now we will go to the line console 0. Okay, so after that we will going to assign password. Password is Cisco. Okay, and we will going to put the login command, enter. Okay, so after that we will go to line bty. Oh, first we will going to exit and we'll go to line bty, line bty 0 to 15, enter. Okay, after that we will going to assign password. Password is Cisco, enter, and the login command, enter. So after that we're going to encrypt plain text password. So service, oh, we will exit first, and service password encryption, service password encryption, enter. Okay, and now we're going to assign the banner MOTD. So the MOTD, unauthorized, authorized access is strictly prohibited. Okay, so enter. So after that we're going to save it. So let's exit from here and enter. Okay, configure, enter. Okay, now let's save it by the command copy, running config, start at config, and enter. Enter. Okay, so now we're going to set the clock set. So what time is it? It's 5:35. 5:35. Okay, and also the month. So today is 13. of November 2020. Enter. So to verify this, we're going to have the command show clock. Enter. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so that's all in step 2. Now let's go to step 3. Configure basic settings for each switch. Assign a device name to the switch. Disable DNS lookup to prevent router from attempting to translate incorrectly entered commands as though they were host names. Assign class as the privilege exec encrypted password. Assign Cisco as the console password. Enable login. Assign Cisco as the VTY password and enable login. And we will also encrypt plain text passwords. Create a banner that warns anyone accessing the device that unauthorized access is prohibited. And we will also set the clock on the switch and save the running configuration to the startup configuration. Let's go first to S1 CLI. Okay, enter. Enable command. And we're going to go to configure terminal. Enter. Now let's assign a host name. So the host name is S1. Okay, so enter. So after that, no IP domain, look okay, enter. After that, we will also assign password, enable secret class. So the password is class. After that, enter. So let's go to line console 0. Line console 0. Enter. After that, we're going to assign the password. Password is Cisco. Enter. And the login command. So login command is right. Okay. Now exit from here and go to line VTY 0 to 15. Okay. Enter. So after that, password is Cisco. Enter. And the login command. Also the oh no, we are going to exit here first. And we'll do the service. Password encryption. Enter. And also the banner MOTD. So the banner, okay. Okay, this is really hard using the mobile. Oh no, what happened? Okay. So this access is strictly prohibited. Okay, spelling is correct. Enter. Okay, so after assigning that, we're going to set the clock. So I'm going to end this one. Enter. Clock set. So what time is it now? It's 5:45. And the date today is 13th of November. (2020). Okay, first to 0. Okay, after that, enter. So the clock is set now. And we're going to save this. Copy, running config, startup config, enter. Enter. So we're done in S1. Now let's go to switch to. Let's go to switch to CLI. Enter. Enable command. Okay. And configure terminal. Now let's assign a host name. So the host name is S2. Okay. S2. Enter. So after that, we're going to disable DNS lookup. So no IP domain lookup. Okay. After that, enable secret class. Enter. And go to line console 0. Console 0. Password. So the password is Cisco. Okay. And the login command. So after in line console 0, let's go to line bty, exit from here. Line bty 0 to 15. Okay, is that right? And password Cisco. And the login command. Okay. Okay. After that, we're going to exit and encrypt plain text password. So service password encryption, enter. After that, assign or create partner MOTD. Okay. So okay, what happened? Warning. Okay. Unauthorized access strictly prohibited. Okay, let's check. So after that, we're going to set the clock, and this one clock set. So the time is 5:51 in the morning in 13th of November 2020. Okay, so to verify this, show clock, enter. So that's it. After that, we will going to save the configuration. Copy, running config, startup config, and enter. Okay, so we're done here. Now that's all in step 3. Now let's go to step 4. Configure PC host. Refer to the address in the PC host address information. So we can minimize this application because this is a full screen application, so we will just look here in our addressing table. Let's refer from this one in our another device. Okay, so first is we will go to PC-A. Okay, let's go to desktop and the IP configuration. IPv4, that's not the right one, I'm sorry. So the IP address of PC-A is 192.168.20.3. Subnet mask is 255. That's 0. Default gateway is, let's see, the default gateway of PC-P 192.168.20.1. So okay, so apply changes. Okay, now after we're done with this one, let's close it and let's go to PC-B. Okay, we'll do that again. IPv4. So the IP address is, so IP address of PC-B is 192.168.30.3. Wait, 255. Okay. .0, and the default gateway is 192.168.30.1. Okay, so apply changes and we're going to close this. So now we will done in Step 4. Let's go to the next one. Okay, now let's move to part 2, create VLANs and assign switch ports. In part 2, you will create VLANs as specified in the table above on both switches. You will then assign the VLANs to the appropriate interface and verify your configuration settings. Complete the following tasks on each switch. So in step 1, create VLANs on both switches. Create and name the required VLANs on each switch from the table above. So let's see here the table. Okay. So now we will going to create this one. So first we'll go to switch 1. CLI. Enter. Okay. So the password is code. So enable command. Password is class. Okay, what happened? Okay. Now configure terminal. Okay, so now we will assign the VLANs. VLAN. Let's go to VLAN 10. Okay, name. So the name of our VLAN 10 is management. Okay. After that, let's go to. So here, going to exit. And let's go to VLAN 20. Okay, enter its name. Oh, that's close. Okay. It's sales. Oh. So sales is the name, enter. Now let's go to VLAN 30. Enter. So the name of this is operations. Okay, enter, and we'll exit from here. Let's go to VLAN. What's next is VLAN 999. Enter name. So the name of our VLAN 999 is parking lot. So okay, enter. Now we're going to exit. After that, let's go to VLAN 1000. Name. So the name is native. Okay, enter and exit. Okay, So we're done here. Now let's go to switch 2 because we will do it in both switches. Now in switch 2, CLI. Okay, password is Cisco. Enter, enable command. So the password is class. Now configure terminal. After that, we'll go to VLAN 10. Okay, VLAN 10. So the name of VLAN 10 is management. Okay, management. Okay, wrong spelling. Management. Enter. Exit from here. Let's go to VLAN 20. Name is sales. Okay. Oh. Sales. Enter. And exit. Let's go to VLAN 30. Name of VLAN 30 is operations. Okay, operations. Enter. Exit. Let's go to VLAN 999. Enter. Name, parking lot. Okay, parking lot, exit, and enter. Now let's go to VLAN 1000. Okay, the VLAN 1000 is native. Okay, enter and exit. Okay, so let's done here. So now we will go to the next. Let's go to B. Configure the management interface and default gateway on each switch using the IP address information in the addressing table. So let's go to switch 1. Let's refer to the addressing table. Okay. So we're going to the interface. VLAN 10. Change to state to up. Enter. Okay. IP address. So the IP address of VLAN 10 is, let's see here, our addressing table, 192.168.10.1. No, .11. It's .11. Okay. And subnet mask. Oh no. Let's be careful. Okay, so after that, going to have the enter command no shutdown for security purposes, and exit. Okay, and we're going to assign the IP default gateway. So the IP default gateway of switch 1 is 192.168.10.1. So now we're done. Let's go to switch 2. Okay, we're going to go in interface. Okay, where's the interface? Interface VLAN 10. Change state to up. IP address. So the IP address is switch to 192.168.10.12. Okay, subnet mask. Oh, zero. So enter the no shutdown command. Is that right? Okay, yes. Exit and the IP default gateway. Okay, IP default gateway. So the IP default gateway of switch 2 is 192.168.10.1. Okay, enter. So now we're done in letter B. Now let's proceed to the next one. So let's go to letter C. Assign all unused ports on the switch to the parking VLAN. Configure them for static access mode and administratively deactivate them. So let's go to switch 1. CLI. So we're going to the interface range. So the interface range is plus Ethernet 0 slash. Okay. Okay, this one slash. So let's say you're in a dressing table 0 2 to 4. Okay, I'm in VLAN table and FA fast Ethernet 0 slash. No, this slash 7 to 24 and gigabit Ethernet 0 slash Okay, 0 slash 1 to 2. Okay, 1 to 2. Let's check. Okay, and enter. Okay, so switch port mode as access, enter, and switch port VLAN, no, access VLAN. So what is it again? The parking lot VLAN, right? So it is VLAN 19.9.9.9.9. So the no shutdown command, enter. Okay, so we're done in switch 1. Exit. Let's go to switch 2. CLI. Let's go to interface. Range. Fast Ethernet. Okay, fast Ethernet 0 slash, so in our VLAN table 2, this is 2 to 17, and fast Ethernet okay 0 slash, so 19 to 24, 19 to 24. Let's check again if this is right. Okay, and the last one is gigabit Ethernet 0 slash 1 to 2. Okay, and enter. So switch port mode as access, and switch port access VLAN 999, and the no shutdown command, enter. Exit, enter. Okay, now we're done. Let's proceed to the next step. Okay, now we are here in step 2, assign VLANs to the correct switches interfaces. Assign use ports to the appropriate VLAN is specified in the VLAN table above and configure them for static access mode. So let's go to switch 1 and let's go to the interface. Fast Ethernet 0 slash 0 slash 6. Okay, enter. Switch port mode as access, enter, and switch port access, so the fast Ethernet 0 slash 6 is VLAN 20. Okay, so after that, go to switch 2, So in switch 2, let's go to the interface fast Ethernet 0/18. So this is switch port mode as access, enter, and switch port access VLAN. So this VLAN is 30, enter. So exit. So after that, the next is verify that the VLANs are assigned to the correct interfaces. So let's go to switch 1 and verify this. So we're going to exit from here, and okay, so we were going to use the show VLAN brief to verify. Okay, so this is the result. Okay, the default VLAN. So we can see here the VLAN names. Okay, their ports and status. Okay. So after verifying it, let's go to switch 2 and also verify this. Okay, and we're going to same for S1, the show VLAN brief. Show VLAN brief, enter. Okay, so this is the result, status under ports. Okay, now we were in part 3, configure an 802.1q trunk between the switches. So in part 3, you will manually configure interface fast Ethernet 0/1 as a trunk. Step 1, manually configure trunk interface fast Ethernet 0/1 on switch S1 and S2. Configure static trunking on interface fast Ethernet 0/1 for both switches. Okay, so we will do it in both switches. So let's go back first in S1. So going to configure terminal, configuration mode, and interface. The interface fast Ethernet 0/1. Okay, and switch port mode as trunk, enter. So it is changed state to up, enter. Okay, now let's go to switch 2. Let's also go to the no. First is configure terminal, and then let's go to the interface as Ethernet 0/1, enter, and switch port mode as trunk, enter. Okay, now let's go to letter B. We're going to set the native VLAN to 1000 on both switches and specify the VLANs 10, 20, 30, and 100 are allowed to cross the trunk, and verify trunking ports the native VLAN and allowed VLANs across the trunk. So S1, let's go to S1. switch port as trunk native VLAN 1000. Okay, 1000, enter. So S2 switch port, enter, switch port. So there is a mismatch discovered. Okay, enter, consistency. So let's try switch port trunk is native. Oh, incomplete command again. Switch port trunk native VLAN. So this is VLAN 1000. Okay. So port consistency is restored. Now, and let's specify. Go to switch 1. So switch port trunk allowed VLAN. So the allowed VLAN is 10, 20, 30, and VLAN 1000. Okay, and enter. Also in switch 2, switch port trunk allowed VLAN. Okay, 10, 20, 30, and 1000. 1000, enter. Okay. Now let's verify the ports. Go back to switch 1 and verify. So exit from here and show interfaces trunk. Okay. So we can see that the port pass Ethernet 0/1, the mode is on, and the status is trunking. Okay, let's try it in switch 2. Okay, in switch 2, let's exit from here and show interfaces trunk. Okay. So we can also see here that the mode is on and the status is trunking. Okay, now let's go to the next step. Okay, now we were now in step 2. Manually configure S1 trunk interface fast Ethernet 0/5. Configure S1's interface fast Ethernet 0/5 with the same trunk parameters as fast Ethernet 0/1. This is the trunk to the router. Save the running configuration to the startup configuration file and verify the trunking. So we will do it same as we did in step 1. So let's go to switch 1 and configure terminal. After that is the interface. Let's go to the interface plus Ethernet 0/5. Okay, and switch port mode has trunk. Enter. Next is switch port trunk, native VLAN 1000. Enter. And the switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10, 20, 30, and 1000. Okay, so enter, exit. Okay, so, and after that, we're going to save the running configuration. Now let's end this. And enter. Copy running config, startup config, enter. Enter. Okay. And verify trunking. Show interface. Is this correct? So what? Interface. Enter. Okay, so switch port mode is on and the status is trunking. Okay, let's go to switch 2. Save the running configuration. Copy running config, startup config, enter. And show interface trunk. Okay, so mode is on, status is trunking. Okay, now so there is a question here. What happens if gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 on R1 is down? So in switch 1, fast Ethernet 0/5 will not be displayed if the gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 interface status on the router is down. Okay, so we're done in part 3. Now let's go to part 4. So now we are in part 4. So this is the last part, I guess. So configure inter-VLAN routing on the router. Okay, step 1, configure the router. Activate interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 as necessary on the router. So we are here now in R1 or the router. So let's go to configure terminal global configuration mode. So let's go to the interface gigabit 0/1. Okay, so the no shutdown command. No shutdown, and after that we're going to exit. So after that is the letter B, configure sub-interfaces for each VLAN as specified in the IP addressing table of all sub-interface. Use 802.1q encapsulation. Ensure the sub-interface for the native VLAN does not have an IP address assigned. Include a description for each sub-interface. Okay, so we'll go to global configuration mode. and the interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1.10. Okay, is this right? Okay, so enter, and the description is management. So management, enter. After that is the encapsulation, 10, enter. Okay, after that is the IP address. Let's see the addressing table. So the IP address is IP address 192.168.10.1, 192.168.10.1, and the subnet mask. Okay. Zero. So after that, let's go to interface. Okay. Interface. Gigabit Ethernet 0/1.20. Okay, enter. Okay, after that is the encapsulation. It is 20. After that is the description. So the description is the sales network. Okay, sales network, and also the IP address. So the IP address is addressing table or seat. So 192.168, 192.168.20.1. Okay, and subnet mask. Okay, enter. So after that is we'll go to the interface. Gigabit Ethernet 0/1 slash, okay, where is it? 0/1.30. Okay, is this the right one? Enter, and the encapsulation 30, enter. So after the encapsulation is the description. So the description is the operations network. Okay, so let's continue. Operations network. Okay, operations network, enter. So after that is the IP address. So the IP address is 192.168.30.1 subnet mask is 255. Okay, enter. And now the last one is interface. The interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1.1000. Okay. Capsulation. Do it again. 1000 and native. Okay. Description is native VLAN. Native VLAN. Okay, so we're done. After that, we're going to verify now. Exit. And so show IP. Show IP interface brief. Okay. Enter. Okay, so now we can see here. So there is no IP address in gigabit Ethernet 0/1.1000. So our status is up, protocol up. Okay, so we're done. Now we're in step 2. We're now in step 2. Complete the following test from PC-8. All should be successful. So ping from PC-8 to its default gateway. So we will do it now. Here in, let's go to PC-A and let's go to desktop. Go in command prompt and let's ping default gateway of PC-A is 192.168.20.1. Okay, is this right? Okay, so let's wait for the result. So as we can see, it's working. So lost is 0. Now we'll go to B ping from PC-A to PC-B. So ping ping 192.168.30.30.3. Okay, so let's wait for the results. Okay, request timeout. So there is a lost here. Going to do it again. Okay. So as we can see, it's working. Now for the last one is we're going to ping from PC-A to S2. Ping. Let's just refer to the addressing table. So the IP address of S2. Okay, S2. Where is it? 192.168.10.12. So let's check it again. Okay. Okay, IP address. Okay. So let's wait for the results of this. Pinging. Okay, request timeout again. Request timeout. So there is lost 2. Let's try again. Enter. So as we can see, it's working. So there is no loss. Sent 4, received 4. Okay, so now we're going to the last step of part 4. So we are now in the last step. Step 3, complete the following test from PC-B. From the command prompt window on PC-B, issue the tracer command to the address of PC-A. So we'll just refer to the addressing table again. And we will go to the PC-B. Command prompt. Going to issue the tracer command. Tracer. Okay. Tracer command. And the IP address of PC-A. So let's see here the IP address 192.168.20.3. Okay, so it's okay. So we can see here that the trace is complete. Okay, so there is a question. What intermediate IP addresses are shown in the results? So yes, we can see here the tracer output showed 2 entries. Okay, so the first hop is the router's gigabit ethernet 0/1.30 interface address, which is the gateway address for PC-B, and the second hop is the PC-A's IP address. So in this video, we discuss and configure the Cisco Packet Tracer lab activity, implement VLANs and Inter-Vlan routing configuration. So I hope you guys learned from this video, and thank you for watching.